Hello, thank you for joining me. I thought today I'll do a video about the current situation that's going on between Britney Spears and her father Jamie. And I haven't followed the story, but obviously I was one of those fans of Britney Spears when she first started in early 2000s. I thought she was fresh-faced, sweet, and she was a little bit like a young Madonna coming onto the scene and bringing some freshness. Obviously she was a bit sassy and everything, and I think I might have been a little bit judgmental about her when she went through all the difficulties that she did. It's so easy to be judgmental and just think somebody is like, oh my gosh, she's a nightmare or something, or he's a nightmare. But obviously I'm really glad that Vedic astrology is slapping me in the face and letting me just become humble and eat a lot of humble pie. Because also I went through a lot of difficulties around about the same time as well. So I do really feel for her. It's very difficult. But wow, how amazing. When I started looking, I was thinking, I cannot believe, wow, what she has been. Because I've never looked at her chart. I didn't have a clue. And yeah, so obviously she has been through so much. So without sort of delaying it any longer, let's have a look at their chart. So here we are. As you can see, like, I'm just going to get the charts up for myself as well, so I can actually see what, I'm doing this live, so I haven't actually prepared very much for it in terms of writing. But as you can, I don't know her father's time of birth, so we're just going to go according to what we can see. So she is a Virgo ascendant, and her Mercury, the ruler of her first and 10th house. Obviously bear in mind that I use Sidereal zodiac, I don't use the tropical western. And so yeah, so here we are. Her first house ruler has gone into Mercury. Mercury's gone into Scorpio. So we know already that there are lots of secrets about her life generally. And we know that because Mercury is in, obviously Scorpio is deep waters, is a secretive sign. And Sun is there with her, Mercury. Sun obviously is the Karakal, significator of father in Vedic astrology. And you can see that her Mercury is completely combust because of the Sun being there. So combust planet means that literally the Sun has taken away all the sweetness of Mercury. So it's just literally burnt it, dried it out. And in her chart also, there are so many different things that are going out. Most important thing is her 5th house ruler is Saturn, 5th and 6th house. So although it's a really good planet for a Virgo ascendant, because obviously Saturn and Mercury are quite neutral, quite friendly sometimes towards each other. But for sheer fact that first, 5th and 6th house ruler Saturn is actually in the ascendant, straight away that this person will have massive delays in her life. There's always going to be pressure on their ascendant. And 5th house is obviously, it just also means that she's very artistic. She's, obviously an entertainer and has global image, because Moon is sitting in her 11th house ruler. Moon ruling Cancer is actually sitting in Capricorn, and it is given her fame in the 5th house with Venus. Venus is a wonderful planet for her, 2nd and 9th house ruler, best planet probably by far for a Virgo ascendant, because it's also friendly to the natives as well. It's sitting in Capricorn with that Moon in Uttara Shada, which is like the star of if you like, success, massive eternal success, with Ketu as well. So she brings all of those beautiful 5th house things of, it rules, 5th house is obviously 3rd house is from 3rd house. So he's somebody who is highly talented and highly recognized in their field. And obviously in the house in Capricorn, which is literally means that you know, she is such a hard worker. Nothing in Capricorn is ever easy. And having very soft planets like Moon will give you depression there as well, sitting there. And right now in transit, that Saturn is retrograde and it's been sitting at that 18-19 degrees for a long time. So she is going through her Sade Sati as well, right bang in the middle of it. I will come back to that. Yeah, so you can imagine how hardworking she is. Venus rules her second house. In order to have money, she's had to really apply herself, really work hard, because being in Capricorn is the original 10th house of the natural zodiac. So you can imagine, can't you? So hard work in order to climb the ladder. And also rules the 9th house of father. So the father is making her really work hard, you know, like there is something almost dictatorship about this, you know, but when rulers and politicians who have very strong planets in Capricorn, they're really harsh on their people. So she has had that harshness on her from her father, from her family. Second house ruler, 9th house ruler in the 5th house, applying that pressure on the moon. And as you know, Venus is not friendly to the moon. So this is also her mind as well. So it's been really, really difficult for her. And Ketu, this is interesting because it just means that she has brought in to this lifetime, not just the talents of the 5th house, but also a father and a family that are actually, you know, Capricorn being also a karmic sign. Ketu is like your past life. So you can imagine how much has been on her shoulders. For a young person, you know, it's quite difficult. And now we have also Mars in the 12th house. Mars, not a good planet at all for Virgo. It rules, it's a dispositor of her 3rd house, where her ascendant is Scorpio, and also Aries, which is her 8th house. So losses, sleepless nights, through all these things to do with her career, to do with her father. Father also rules her 12th house. Very interesting. So the father is almost a loss to her. Losses through father. Amazing, really. And having Mars in your 12th house, she's obviously finds it really hard to rest. And look at that. So she's here in this lifetime. You can see Rahu in Cancer to actually... Cancer is obviously overseas and Rahu foreign, so she has got this global, she's been gaining through global image that she has as well. And we can see that obviously she has created her own money through her art form, you know, because she's obviously 1st and 10th house ruler has gone into the third house. Now we whiz over to her father's, and look at that. Her father has Saturn on top of her Saturn. So when we do synastry, you can see that in Virgo, this is her ascendant. Her ascendant is in Virgo. And Virgo, in his sign, has also got Saturn sitting right on top of her ascendant. So not only has she got pressure anyway from Saturn, but she's got her father as well putting pressure on her. So she must have been living under huge, huge lack, delays, you know, just nothing happened, just dryness of that Saturn sitting on her ascendant, you know, by her father as well. And look at that, she has also got Mars, which is, for her, will be like her 3rd and 8th house ruler, sitting that Mars of actually you know, she's had to put so much effort in to make that money. And look, Mars is sitting there. It's like actually Mars sitting on her Jupiter. Jupiter is planet of optimism, luck, happiness, wisdom, completely taken away by that Mars of, you know, it's like there's an aggression about her money. So unbelievable. And then she has also, you will see that what's happening is the Jupiter, her sun Sun and Venus of her father is sitting in her 10th house. So her father's got a lot of say about her work. You know, 10th house is your house of career. So he has a lot to say about that. And obviously Venus again rules her 9th house, is sitting, you know, her dad has got a lot to say about her career. And if you look at her father's chart, he has Ketu over her Mars. So clearly, you know, she has this karmic thing with her father, because obviously that Ketu falls into Leo for her, which is the ruler of that is the sun for her. Very, very interesting. So I thought, let's have a look at the transit and see what's happening for her, because obviously synastry wise you can see his moon is in Sagittarius, her moon is in Capricorn, so there's no synastry between the two. And sun in her chart is in Virgo, in his chart is in Gemini, so they're in a 6-8 relationship, so there's no relationship there between them at all. They don't get on. And also you will see also her Venus is in Capricorn, his Venus is in Gemini, 6-8 relationship. So 6-8 is always about arguments, don't see each other, there's a lot of friction there, not positivity at all. And also Rahu, his Rahu is in Aquarius and hers is in Cancer. So again, there is a 6-8 relationship between the nodes, Ketu as well. 6 and 8 has relationship between hers and his. So in all, the only things that are actually could be positive is that Jupiter is opposite each other. But again, there's opposition can also cause crossfires as well. But Mercury is trinal with each other, and so is you can say Saturn as well. I guess, you know, they're on, you know, sitting on top of each other, and Mars. So there's an energy level thing you could see. There is also that going on, but his Mars sitting on her Jupiter is just completely taking all that fun and optimism and luck away from her, purely by having that. So in terms of synastry, I mean, obviously they're father and daughter, but if somebody was coming to me with, like, you know, for a business kind of synastry between them and a member of staff that they take on, if I see this, I just say, well, you're just going to take on somebody who is an enemy to you from previous life, literally, because look at Ketu's, there's 6 and 8 relationship. And what will happen in this lifetime? We look at Rahu and we just see actually they're still going to leave this lifetime as enemies. And moons as well, 12 and 2, going to abandonment, not really having each other's back, so not good. And also there's soul journeys, which is seen through the sun. They have a 6-8 relationship as well. Now, clearly, in the actual in the heavens right now, we have Saturn retrograde and sitting at the exact degree of her moon. So she's going through Sade Sati. She has been feeling the pressure of everything to do with father now, and literally Saturn is telling her now it's time to take control, and you have to literally just do away with things that are no longer sitting right with you. And this is what I wanted to tell you guys, you know, when you get scared about Sade Sati, and yes, it does put pressure on you, but it's normally because Saturn is encouraging you to do things that are right for you. And yes, so definitely Saturn sitting on her moon, she will be, by the time next year when Saturn is out of Capricorn and in Aquarius, she will still be going through the latter part of her Sade Sati. However, what will happen is she doesn't have that pressure on her anymore, on her moon, and also she has made those decisions that are right for her going forward. And she will be a lot lighter. And right now also, Saturn being retrograde over her moon, it just means that she's really reviewing, going back and rethinking things, reassessing her life and what does she want to take forward. And the other thing is as well, which is so interesting, Rahu is at the moment, Rahu is at the moment in her 9th house of father and her belief system. And Rahu has been there since end of last year and will still be there till early next year. But the whole of this year as well, Rahu is in the 9th house and is pushing on things, new things about father. What is happening is encouraging her to actually delve into that area of her life and getting it right, you know, because her father cannot dictate what should be her beliefs. She should actually have her own beliefs, not follow what her father is guiding her towards. And obviously Ketu, in the meantime, in her 3rd house, which is also housing Mercury, which is her 1st house ruler and 10th house ruler, and her sun is sitting there. Look at that. Actually, literally what it's doing right now is Ketu is on her sun, almost the same degree. It has been there for the past few months on that kind of degree, 15 degrees now, and her sun is at 16 degrees of Scorpio. So it's actually all those past karmic things are coming up with the father, and she is actually metamorphosis for her. She is renewing, getting rid of all those deep, dirty secrets of father are coming out, and she's releasing them with love and setting herself free. And that is pretty amazing. So this is my take on her, and obviously Sade Sati will be amazing for her. She will be a new woman comes from next April onwards. Her energy will change. She's also sitting in what would be she's doing her Jupiter Dasha at the moment. Jupiter is her 7th and 4th house ruler, sitting in her 2nd house. So it's actually a good planet for Moon in Shravana. And what it's doing for her, it's giving her, bringing about the peace that she so desperately deserves through all the hard work and lack that she's had. All of her, I mean, look at that. She's a 39-year-old woman. She has worked so hard, and yet she has received hardly anything back from that. So this is it for me, and I wish her luck. And I know things, Sade Sati, Saturn always helps you see the light at the end of the tunnel, and she will be just fine. I know she will, and you know, she will have the support as well from Jupiter as well. Comes next year, Jupiter will be obviously will be in Aquarius most of the year, but come November last year will go into her 7th house, and that will really restart her career in a different way, actually, completely different way, because things will just start manifesting for us so differently. So this is from me. And oh yeah, one more thing as well. Right now, also in transit, Saturn and Jupiter, both of them are aspecting her 2nd house of family and also resources as well. So there are things happening for her. She's planning her future, how she wants the family thing, self-value, you know, because it's the original 2nd house, is original house of self-value. So she's going to be a complete different lady, metamorphosis, and she'll claim her life. And I'm so happy for her. I think that's just so brilliant. Thank you for watching my videos, and I hope this helped to see how we see things in terms of synastry in Vedic astrology. Thank you for joining me.